What's up guys, Phoenix here. This video is going to be another DevPro Duel video, not in ranked though because we're playing with some extreme OCG nonsense in the form of the Metalphosis deck, or Metalfoes as their name has been confirmed for the TCG and the Dark Illusions. They've been confirmed to be Metalfoes for the TCG. I kind of like the sound of Metalphosis better though, just because it seems like an actual like progressive name of I don't even know what I'm trying to say. It just sounds better ultimately than Metalfoes. Like, oh, they're foes and they're made of metal. Whereas like Metalphosis sounds very like scientific, like it was something and it's changed into something else. It's like morphed, something like that. But anyway, this deck is a pendulum deck that functions much like Ignites, but it functions around fusion summoning. So we have our first fusion-based pendulum archetype. It may not be the best, but it does have a lot of cool things going for it in the fact that all of their vanilla monsters have the same effect of once per turn you can target one other face-up card you control, destroy it, and if you do, set a Metalphosis spell or trap card directly from your deck. Now mainly you're going to be using that to get Metalphosis Fusion, which can recycle itself back into your deck and let you draw a card, so there's a little mini engine there as well. And ultimately this deck list I'm playing is just what I've been tinkering around with for a very small amount of time. It may end up just being trash, but ultimately it's been working well enough for what I wanted it to do, basically just to be very essentially basic. Rabbit, I'm not really liking the use of Hamster. I'm not really against it. It's just like Rabbit just seems better in almost every situation because like Hamster and Rabbit have the same targets in deck, but like I don't really know. Like Hamster's just not really doing it because you specifically have to have a face-up pendulum monster in your extra deck, and sometimes that's hard for you to do with the Metalphosis thing, or at least that's what I've been finding out. But coolest little tech card in this deck that the OCG has been using is Vortex Trooper. I never thought this card would actually be useful in anything, but it actually is. When this card is normal summoned, you can shuffle 2 cards from your hand into the deck, then draw 2 cards. And then when this card is destroyed, draw a card. So you summon this, you correct your hand by like putting back the cards that you could already have searched off the Metalphosis cards back into your deck. And then you destroy this with one of your Pendulum monsters to set the cards that you put back or anything else, and then you get to draw a card there. The biggest issue that I have with this deck is the fact that Chicken Game is banned in the TCG, whereas Chicken Game is like the best card for this deck in the OCG because it's literally better than Upstart Goblin because it's a card that stays face up, so you activate it, pay 1,000, draw a card, and then you pop it away with one of the Metalphosis guys, thus turning it into a +1 for every single Chicken Game you have. We don't have that capability in the TCG, which kind of sucks, but I mean, I'd rather have all the FTK decks be hindered than actually be able to play with the Metalphosis deck. But small little Magic Spectre engine, you know, just stuff like that. Rabbit, small Draco engine just to access Ignister and Dinoster to have solid like plays in the extra deck alongside Magister. Basically the deck just, I don't know, it's just what I would consider to be something that's decently playable. I may be wrong. If you have any suggestions for it, leave them in the comments down below. But other than that, let's just jump into the first, potentially, likely, only game, shall we? Alright, so let's see what we're playing. Now, unfortunately, I can't be in ranked because this is, like I said, a very heavily OCG-based deck, so we've gotten there, and we've got the normal summon, and we've got the Metalphosis thing. Awesome. Well, I definitely want to kind of, well, do I want to put this back in the deck? I've got Painful Decision, so yeah, probably. So I could put this plus Twin Twister back because Twin Twister's not really a combo card for me at this point. So I'll just utilize this. It's a shame that this doesn't say up to 2. You have to shuffle 2, which kind of sucks, but I mean, hey. Beggars cannot be choosers. Okay, so I drew more Metalphosis cards, and I drew Combination, which is slightly irritating. I do have an actual scale up though that I can actually play, so there's that. So I could get that, utilize this to set fusion from my deck, and then this will trigger drawing a card giving me a +1. So there's that. More Metalphosis cards. Okay, so we'll keep going with this. I can potentially fuse twice during this turn. I don't have any of my other engines though in the form of like Rescue Rabbit to just make easy rank 4s. I don't have my Dracos. Well, actually, I just put my Master Pendulum. I could have made, like, Dinoster plays, but I think that I almost always want to start with Ignister when it comes to those plays, basically. So I think it's just better for that. I have this so I can get the counter, but I've got that, which is 1, and these are both 8s. Okay. So what I want to do here is I want to, well, these are both 8 scales, so the problem is I need to activate Painful Decision and send one of the 1 scales, which means it's probably going to be the level 4, because that's the only one I don't have in circulation as well. So, and then the level 4 will be able to come back off Combination, and that'll just work really well with itself. But so what I'll do is I'll activate this one, and I'll set another fusion from my deck. by popping this. I'm basically just going to get all my cards out of the deck, basically. So I'll set counter. And then I'll activate this one because I need to pop the 8s and leave a full scale up. So I'll activate this, popping that one and trying not to kill myself from whatever is in my throat right now. But activate this. This will be able to pop for a fusion spell as well, but first I just want to Pendulum Summon 2. And that will allow me to be able to fusion into Orihulk. And Orihulk is like the best one because it like actually like has accessibility into other things. But so play Metalphosis Fusion, go into Orihulk, and just summon it in attack mode. And then the fusion can spin itself back to the deck, draw a card, Match Spectre Unicorn. That's actually really good. Unfortunately, I've already used my normal summon and I've already Pendulum summoned, so I can't actually utilize it this turn, but I can use it on a future turn. Now, I kind of just want to leave both of these up, especially since this is the one that has to activate and it can only pop another face-up card. So I can't pop this and get a and have a full scale left because this is 2. So I will just set this and pass my turn. So I've ended with, that's 5, 6, 7. So I ended with a +2. I mean, I guess that's not bad. Definitely could have been better if I had drawn any of my Draco Engine pieces, but, I mean, or if I had just drawn this sooner. So the issue is now this deck plays no defensive traps, so I basically am going to get steamrolled by this Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon. Yo, he's here. He's here to strike the fear. Oh man, and Gospel Revival 2, Jesus. I remember the days when I was doing this to people, literally like a week ago. Alright then. Well, the issue is that I've got to deal with this, but I can deal with it with Utopia the Lightning, likely. Should have attacked with the Blue Eyes first. This card sent from the field to the graveyard, you can target this card on the field and destroy it. Yeah, you should have attacked with the Blue Eyes first, because 1, I can destroy the Blue Eyes, and 2, this is going to summon something from my deck. So that's definitely very much what's going to happen. But actually, Gospel Revival gets to protect the Blue Eyes. So I'm going to actually use this, yes, to target that. And then I'm also going to activate Counter, just so that I take less damage. And also it fuels my extra deck a bit further. So I will utilize it to get, well, I can get Break Sword, because I already have access to the 3s. I've got the 4 there. I've got the 2 here. I've already got a 3 in my extra deck. You know what? I'll just get the 4. The 4 seems to be the best potential option for me to utilize because it just puts more of them in circulation. So yeah, that dies, and I've got one of the 4s in grave, and then one of the 4s here, so I'll be able to fusion summon next turn. And because of that, when I fusion summon, I'll be able to bring back the 4 from grave. Ah, okay. So what are you gonna do now? You're gonna probably trade the. Oh, you're trading that? Why? That's like so hard. I'm sitting here trying to figure out how I'm gonna get over that card, and you're just purposefully getting rid of it. Like, all right. So if he gets rid of one of my scales, I can just draw another scale and potentially be good there. Specifically, if he gets rid of this one, then I just get to use Kieran. So there's that. Okay, so he's getting rid of that one, which is definitely the scale that I actually don't care about. Bro! Alright! Okay. So now he can make Titanic Galaxy, though, which is a slight issue, but I'm pretty sure I can deal with that. Vortex Trooper. Well, I get to use this to add a thing from Metalphosis from my extra deck back to my hand, so there's definitely that as an option, which means that I get to put it back, and then I get to activate, and it'll go away. Yeah. Or actually, I actually just get to I get to bait this with Metalphosis Fusion. Yeah, that seems so easy. All right, so we'll activate this. This will add back. I can add back my Gold Driver because yeah, that's the 1 scale, so that'll work. And then we'll play Metalphosis Fusion, because if this doesn't bait a negation, I don't know what does. Because I'm pretty sure he doesn't know what Metalphosis cards do. So he is negating it. Good. Alright. So that gets negated, that gets put there. So now what I get to do is I get to activate my Kieran in the scale. And then I get to activate this to pop the Kieran, so it'll go in my extra deck as a resource, and I'll get to set my other fusion spell from deck. I can activate Combination, and that can bring back Ori Hulk, or it can bring back Gold Driver. Man, so many potential options. Cardinal is literally just a vanilla. If the deck gets like a Super Poly type card in the future, I could see that being good. Same with Adamante. Like Ori Hulk is literally the only good one. So I'm gonna have to make like a rank 4 here. Or no, actually I won't, because I have Kieran, so I can just bounce this. Yes. Alright, so that's what we will do. So I will activate this. I can normal summon this and pop it, just to get the free card, which actually might end up being what happens. But yeah, so we'll activate this in the scale. This is already popped, so I definitely don't have to worry about that potentially as an issue. So I will normal summon this, and I will pop it just to set the other trap. And then all of my spells and traps are out of the deck at this point, so literally anything else that I draw would be like combo cards, ideally. So, alright, more Metalphosis cards, we can deal with this. But, we will special summon. Special summon everything. Everything indeed. So all of them. Every single last one of them. Because I'm going to be able to Kieran bounce that, and I'm going to be able to fuse into Ori Hulk or Cardinal. A couple different options as well. So these have already used all their abilities to pop and stuff. But what I get to do is I can actually make Cardinal bring back Ori Hulk. But Cardinal takes 3, which is the issue. So yeah, Cardinal takes Metalphosis plus any 2 monsters for 3,000 or less. That's a lot. But what I can do here, actually, is I can use... These can go into Break Sword, so that's not really too big of an issue. But what I can do is I can just bounce that, and that can fuse. And then I'll be able to bring back a thing. Actually, I should probably just fuse first. Yeah, because I can fuse, bring back this, and then bounce it. Or bounce one of these, whatever ends up being the better option. So I'm going to go ahead and activate this. I'm just going to have it face up already. And then I'll activate this. Just because I'm curious as to how the timings of things work. So I can make Ori Hulk here, which is 2 Metalphosis, so I can just use these 2. Or I could go into Adamante, which is Metalphosis plus any. But, I mean, Ori Hulk is just strictly better. Adamante is just really cool because it's an instant fusion target. So, like, you can actually get more of your stuff in circulation easier with cards like Instant Fusion, because Instant Fusion and Norden is obviously in the deck list, but Instant Fusion also can just become a Metalphosis card, which is actually really cool. But he's at 8,000, so this would be 48, 70, this would be 52, 72. That would be 72 damage if I bounce with these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to... I actually wasted my normal summon on that Vortex Trooper, which is a bit of, just sad is the word I guess I'm looking for. Because if I hadn't normal summoned the Vortex Trooper, if I just Pendulum summoned it, I could normal summon whatever card I had just drawn here. And that's sad. But what I have done is I've bounced this Titanic Galaxy, so I've loaded Metalphosis Fusion back into my grave. So I've got 1 in deck and 1 in grave, so then next turn I can just start off my turn by Metalphosis Fusion shuffling itself back and drawing an additional card. So I've got potential for setup scales as well, since like I've got both of these. Those prevent scale. They prevent me from running out of scales for the rest of the game, essentially, because these can be popped off with whatever scale remains. Like if this stays in my hand, I can pop this off, search another scale. So it's definitely no real issue with me running out of Pendulum Summon material. And I've definitely got Kieran here, which I can bounce itself or bounce this to prevent him from like doing something dirty to me. Since he's already Advanced Ritual Arted, he's already traded in his Chaos Max Dragon, which was something I was going to have to struggle to get over. Which, I mean, honestly, that card would have been a win condition in itself if he hadn't gotten rid of it. Him making the Titanic Galaxy made it so much easier for me to kill him, but I would have actually had access to Utopia, the Lightning, over the Chaos Max Dragon, but I definitely wouldn't have had as good of a board as I ended up having. And he would have been able to back it up with a Sage next turn, like, wow. Like, like he would have been able to do a lot more if he just left that Chaos Max Dragon out, but I feel like he thinks he made the right play. I mean, I don't know how well he knows the Metalphosis deck, so I don't know if he knows that, like, what he did was particularly incorrect for the situation, but who knows. I'm going to cut the video there because it's getting lengthy, as per they usually do because of the live duel format that I use. But anyway, as always, guys, thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys think about the Metalphosis deck, and let me know if you guys have any builds that you specifically have been using, because I'm not so sure how I like the build that I have, that I showed you. If you have a build you want me to try out, send it to my Facebook fan page. The link is in the description for that. But other than that, as always, guys, like, comment, subscribe, do all the nonsense you usually do. If you want to support me, clicking ads on my videos and disabling ad block when you view my videos is more than sufficient. It helps me out more than I could ever stress, and I would appreciate it more than you would ever know if that is something you could take the time out of your day to do to help me out, just because it generally does help out a lot more than I could ever express without just being really ignorant and telling you exactly what it gives me, which is rude. But other than that, that's it for this video. I'll probably play with Metalphosis a couple more times in the future, essentially. But as always, guys, take care.